Hey guys, Don here. I want to do the Podiatry Practice Mastery newsletter for April 2021. In this last month, I'm going to go through what were the interviews in the month of March. All these interviews can be found on the Present website, podiatry.com. That's where they're being published. You may have seen them. The first interview was with Kevin Christie. He is a chiropractor. He's part of this strategic coach group as well that I go to. Not the same group, but he's been going there for a while. And he helps other chiropractors, which is very similar. But he's got a couple of really good books to help kind of guide your social media. And he gives you real great practical ideas on being more profitable in your practice, delegation, and other types of things like that. So that would be a good listen, that Kevin Christie interview. The other interview was with Andrew Vieira. He's actually just starting medical school, but prior he was a medical scribe, and this is something that a lot of us have considered. There's a couple of options. One's called Hey Rach, which is using a virtual assistant. I think they're usually from the Philippines via an iPad. And then there's another way of doing it where you actually have a scribe in there with you. It's just a way to reduce some of the overwhelm of doing all the notes. As Andrew talked about, it takes a long time to train a good scribe, and they kind of almost write in your voice, and that's the key. So you can trust them in the beginning. You review them with them, you give them guidance, and they're able to actually produce a much better note, and you're able to just focus on what you're really good at is doing the patient care. And the next interview was with the Tobro, and he had that program for a while called the Tobro, and so I interviewed him, and he's got a very simple operation of how he does his videos, pretty simple process, but he's got a couple of unique things I like on his website where he sells products. I think it's through Shopify, and so he found products, and then people are always buying them. There's this cool little ticker that pops up there when someone buys something, so something to consider in your practice if you want to sell things. There's some easy ways you can look at his website. He's got his podiatrist website, and then you also see his Tobro website and his YouTube channel. It's pretty cool. And then finally, I interviewed a local podiatrist, Teresa Bertoft. She's here in Massachusetts, and I've really respected her work with practice management. She always has some great ideas, and really she just talks about the consistent things that work in practice. And so I would like to offer, if anyone that is listening to this, if you would like to be a guest, please email me, don@podiatrypracticemastery.com. And I'd love to have you on the show. We can just share your best tips, or we can even kind of do a issue processing, kind of what you're working on, what your goals are for the future, and how give you some ideas together on how to work on those things. So that's always a fun thing. We could record that into a little podcast. If anyone's interested, please email me. Also, because you're listening to this, you're probably on the podcast, but there is a podcast. You can go to Podiatry Practice Mastery on iTunes or Google or any of these other methods of listening. I want to let everyone know I kind of stopped or scrapped that group session idea. It was fun. We did it for a few months, but I really didn't get the people, and I think it was because it was like 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. So I'm trying to figure out a different way of still providing content. We're putting all this content on the blog, or the Podiatry Practice Mastery. I think that's going to be the best option. There's going to be a link there for interviews. There's going to be a link for like courses or information, and then some recommendations. I think the key really is the recommendations. There's just so many things that we're just not aware of. So on there, I'm going to put a lot of recommendations for email, recommendations for being efficient, recommendations for books, a lot of these resources that you can just have them all in one place. And as you have time, you can go through them. The courses are going to be kind of topic specific, because I find it's overwhelming with all these podcasts or interviews. They're on like this topic, then this topic, then this topic. So what I'm going to try to do with the courses is combine it. Let's say, all the content just on Shockwave, or all the content just on like in-office dispensing, and then kind of referring to other sources for that. Okay. Once again, you guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.